Greetings, my name is Jesse, and this is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself, and today is the return of Halo. The first Halo. I keep forgetting that the first one is called Combat Evolved. I just always thought it was just called Halo 1 or Halo, but it's Halo Combat Evolved. We're listening to the opening suite from Oliver Udholm, followed by Undercover of Night, and then a remix of Undercover of Night called Cloaked in Blackness from Halo Anniversary. That is from the channel Brian Tryfin, and Undercover of Night is Master John Sheaf, requested by Pookster Prime and J2O Juiced. Thank ya. So, if this is the first Halo and it's the opening suite, I have to imagine this is probably the very first Halo thing you ever hear. You know, maybe it starts after a new game, maybe it starts before the menu, but odds are you hear this or the main theme first, which is kind of interesting. I'm gonna go into it in my head thinking like this is gonna be like the first thing people hear, or at least top 3 first things you hear in Halo. Anyways, opening suite, OST 01. This is it. Let's go. Popped in my Halo disc into my Xbox. My big chunky console. Putting this game in that I've heard so much about, all my friends talking about in the playground. This game was such a big deal when it came out, dude. It was undeniable. One of those times as a PlayStation fan where I'm like, should I get an Xbox? Because everybody's talking about Halo. Oh, it's part of the opening suite. Ooh. What a way to grab you. These voices are literally people's childhood. Please tell me your experience hearing that for the first time. What you remember from that. So we started a movie or something. So they've used those choirs in a few songs now. Including the first time I heard Halo ever on this channel. So I too share the first time hearing Halo as that. Does this have an intro movie? It sounds like prologue dialogue would be happening here. Or I could see like the Star Wars text going up. Actually, I do wonder how much of Halo was inspired by John Williams. I have to imagine they went for that crowd, right? Star Wars? Sci-fi people? And that's kind of the sound they know? I never thought about that. Or maybe I have. I don't know. It sounds like I'm watching the beginning of a movie. Literally. That's so cool. welcome to Halo. It's so funny. Every time I listen to Halo, it's the exact same feeling I get, or very similar to when I react to Mario, right? You have to remember, PlayStation kid. So, growing up parallel to these multimedia powerhouses, some of the most iconic stuff ever happened while I was, a kid. Pokemon came out, Xbox came out, Nintendo 64, all these things, even though the Mario and Zelda were already established, you know what I mean? Like, I still, like, it's just seeing all these things happen alongside me. Of course, my curiosity's there. And I'm like, oh, that's what it was like that I missed out on. And it's, I don't take it for granted. It seems kind of silly. But you have to realize this right here is one of the main factors you're even seeing me on this channel is like me discovering games I've never played, games I haven't tried, right? Don't get it confused that I'm just some obscure musician from out of nowhere who's never heard of Halo or never played video games. I've always played video games, and I've always, been in that culture. There was times I took breaks and years apart, but there's a lot of stuff I haven't played or experienced. Same with movies. Same with movies. There's a lot of movies I've never seen, like, for example, one that's like also really big that always comes up is Blade Runner. I've never seen that. I never seen Die Hard. There's a lot, right? There's a lot. I was a busy kid. Anyways, so I try to put myself, I've experienced similar things. I think for me, Halo, the equivalent would be Metal Gear Solid. Not as far as like gameplay or anything, but like my equivalent to a gaming experience. Because if anyone out there has played both, maybe even around the same time, you might know what I'm talking about. But, Halo, Metal Gear Solid, both revolving around war of some kind, right? Conflict with Big Bad, which is every game. But they felt more serious, more, more heavy topics, real topics, relevant topics. If you're go watch the story of Metal Gear Solid 2 and see how that's relevant today. And I remember, I feel like when kids played Halo, it was probably their first time where it's like, whoa, this is now video games are different now. Because that's what MGS did to me. MGS felt like a movie. I never saw video games the same after that. I did stuff I've never seen before. It was music on like I haven't heard before. So that's why I'm kind of like comparing it, because not that they sound similar or play some, nothing, just the experience. And roughly, yeah, they're both kind of on the same status as far as video game history goes. Everyone knows Halo, everyone knows Metal Gear Solid. Anyways, so yeah, I just was having the thought right now of like, I wonder if that was the intent, if it's to go after like the sci-fi crowd. I'm trying to think, because I don't know when Halo came out. I'd have to assume like, man, I'd have to say somewhere between 1999 to like 2001. That sounds about right. Because I remember, yeah, that sounds about right. I could be a little off here. I'm trying to remember. First-person shooters were definitely a thing. But I'm trying to remember how big of a deal like sci-fi shooters were. If that was even a thing. I'm sure there was. But like at this point, there was already like Medal of Honor. There was, I think, Call of Duty already. World War II shooters. But I'm trying to think of like sci-fi futuristic shooters at that time. Either way, it seems like, I'm sure I'm forgetting one, but I feel like this kind of reimagined everything and was the new, the only way I can describe Halo to me is like, it felt like they really wanted to make an impact. It wasn't just another game. It was like, what's going to sell this new console? So they put like everything into it, like all their blood, sweat, and tears, which kind of goes into my segue of the game title, Combat Evolved. Now, my question to you is is that a cheeky, like, selling marketing buzzword? Like, Halo, combat evolved, to get you to, what do you mean combat evolved? Or is it extremely relevant to, like, the plot? You know what I mean? Kind of like how something would be like, title extreme or something. Combat evolved. That's a big statement, But I think all that together is making me think all these things. Is that they really, really were seeking out to make something that was going to be... Because think about it. If you make something, you can't guarantee its success. You can hope. But after the audience will speak for themselves, But it seems like with this one, it was carefully crafted with funds and ideas. Also, the huge, Microsoft was already a huge deal. So I don't know. Like I said, Halo is always so interesting to me because I know nothing about it, but yet I know about it. Because who doesn't know Halo? Your grandma knows about Halo. Anyways. Big Yap Session. Cool song. Probably the first thing you hear. This, I have no idea where this plays, but it's number 10 in the OST. The description, best song ever of all time. Okay. This is Undercover of Night. Halo CE. Best song of all time. All right. I will listen to the song with that in mind. They may be onto something. Ooh. If anyone knows the main inspiration behind Halo, if any, please let me know. My guess is Star Wars. Knowing that it's a multi-million-dollar franchise before Halo even existed. It's giving me, like, mission. Maybe even, like, iconic mission. I don't know if there's any iconic missions in Halo. Let me know. There has to be, right? What's the most iconic mission in Halo? Kind of like No Russian in Call of Duty. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, dude. The vocal synths and the bass are kind of sweet. That remix has a lot of work cut out for it. This is cool. No percussion, nothing. I wouldn't mind percussion, but... yeah, let's go. Phil Collins has entered the chat. It's groove time. I really need to hear groove to wrap it all up. Yeah. Maybe this is the best song ever of all time. I don't know. Double time? It's reminding me of something, but I just cannot think of what. But this is awesome. Damn, dude. It's got everything. Give me one little guitar line and I'm extremely happy, but I'll take it. Or a saxophone. Wow, what an interesting concoction. Drum fade out. You know what? Take everything I said about the Star Wars thing and also add to the ingredient pile of James Cameron. Right? Terminator. Surely it's got that essence, you know? I think of the Terminator theme. Da 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 do. And now I wonder if that was actually the intent all along, is to have like the most cinematic game possible. Dude, the comments I get on Halo are some of the coolest ones, because obviously this game has huge history. But if you think about it, this is going to be kind of weird to say. I gotta be careful how I say this. It's just a thought I've had. It's not really backed by any science or facts. It's just kind of a thought. But I'm trying to think of like the major video game sellers, like the AAA and above, and how many of those are known for their soundtracks. Something in like Call of Duty, Halo. I don't know if Pokemon would go up there. Maybe. It's the biggest selling media of all time. But I'm talking like, I don't know. Well, for example, Call of Duty, like, it's not really known for its music, but it's known for its zombies, Easter eggs music, which I'll give it credit for. It's pretty sick. But it's a bonus within a mode. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to think of like these other names, like Last of Us, stuff like that. And although I've never heard any of those, because I don't even know if I have requests for those. They're not. I wouldn't say they're known for their music, right? Because I feel like I would have heard it by now. So that also kind of makes me sound a little pretentious, because like, well, my thought process is almost 5 years in. I feel like if it's that huge of a deal as far as video game music, I would have heard it by now. Maybe that sounds kind of messed up, but I don't know. It just feels that way, you know? Halo is not in that category. I feel like Halo is known for its music as well as everything else. So that's kind of cool, you know? It's one of those things that you can really appreciate for the entire package. Gameplay, graphics. I'm sure the voice acting is cool. Characters are iconic. Obviously, everyone knows Master Chief and the suit. Does the suit have a name, by the way? The guns, right? I still know what the blade looks like just by memory. The needler. There was also that really cool shotgun, and the reason that, well, not shotgun, sorry, the sniper rifle. And I remember because it left a huge trail of smoke, I guess. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, dude. That was fantastic. And let's just hear it. I think you may know where I'm going with this, but let's just hear "Cloaked in Blackness," which is a remix of "Undercover of Night." I'm just gonna go ahead and say I don't know if it's gonna be able to match that. There was a magic in that one, but we'll see. I don't want to think negative before. This is "Cloaked in Blackness." No bias. No bias. Just wipe our ears. They also worked hard on this one too, so. Sounds good so far. Oh, damn. That's why you can't judge, dude. The term "understood the assignment" is at play here. Oh, Tom Salt is part of this one too. They've seen my channel before. It's Atlas Plug. So this is orchestrated by Paul Libson, Lenny Moore, Tom Salta, and Brian Tryfin. Originally by Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore. They got the bass right. And the synth sounds good too. I'm guessing the drums are just going to be an actual drum set. When did Anniversary release? Like how many years apart? It's a great bass line, dude. You can really feel it. Wow, dude, that's really good. Really faithful. Wow. Gotta have an open mind, man. I wonder why they changed the name, though. That's interesting. It even sounds like the same vocal sample. This is a cool color scheme. Maybe I'll try Halo someday. Not anytime soon, but I've only played one Xbox game ever, and that was Lost Odyssey. And that was only because a generous viewer literally mailed me and trusted me to let me borrow their Xbox, like an old friend in high school. And that was the only way I was able to play an Xbox. So if you want to send me your Xbox to play Halo, I'm just kidding, don't. My backlog is large, but you know what? I've always been curious about Halo. Now, okay, first things first. Ignore everything I said about like the will it hold up. Yeah, dude. That was extremely faithful. I thought it was gonna be the same thing with a modern touch, and it is, but they kept the drums like digitized. I think they use the same vocal sample. Everything is very close. It's shockingly close. So whether you prefer this one or that one, that doesn't really matter. You get two versions of it, so that's the real thing. You get double the amount. That's sick. That sounded so good. It really just sounded like a cleaner, polished version of the original. Without, because I'm not a fan of when... I'm a fan when people cover or do arrangements, as long as they do it in their own style, but I'm also not the biggest fan of like when they just do too much, It's just clearly like trying too hard to sound different. This sounded like maybe a little too close, which is funny, but I just feel like they just gave it its respect. That's kind of the only way I can put it. It's like, we're not touching this. We grew up with this game. We'll make a new version, but it's going to be like the original, and that's cool. That's really really cool because it does sound cleaner and polished. And I don't mean that like subjectively. It is, you know. But very interesting. I really wonder why they changed the name. It's almost to the point where you could have just used the original, but I understand. Oh man, Combat Evolved. I don't know. I think I've said everything I had to say about Halo. It's a very interesting game to say the least, because it's basically like talking. At this point, it's talking about, yeah, like well, not the only one, but it's like the equivalent of like video game Star Wars as far as popularity goes. When you think, I think if you ask the most casual person on the street, like street interview, hey, name 3 video games. How many of them do you think are going to say Halo as one of those 3? Probably 90%. What are they going to say? Call of Duty, Halo, Mario, right? I think it's up there. I think Halo is up there. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for listening to me yap. But very cool. I feel like there's a lot of history here. We heard the suite. We heard a very cool song, which may be the best song ever made, according to that person, which was good. And then an extremely faithful, really good arrangement with a good history of composers. Tom Salta and I'm not sure about Brian Tryfin, but Tom Salta is very good as in Killer Instinct. So thanks to the requesters. Thanks to everyone you see here. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. Tell me about your Halo story and whatever else. My name is Jesse. Peace.